Shalom. This may be several videos, and first let me give a disclaimer. I don't hate anyone. I really don't. I don't care what color you are. But like if you look at my videos, I told you I've been very ignorant to the point of almost embarrassment at a point. Basically, really. But according to the Most Highest, He's placed me in a situation that it calls me to gain knowledge and attain knowledge and seek more knowledge. Not for the sake of just saying I'm smart. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to attain knowledge through what the Most High has allowed me to gain for a purpose. Not only to save myself, but to save others. And some people say, well, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Give him what is his. That's true. But if you measure certain things, you measure the word of the Most High. You got to measure the word. He said He loves a balanced weight. He says one thing sometimes, but He means what He said all the time. But He says one thing, but in another scripture He says something else. But now balance the scriptures to see what He's really saying. And then there's the Most High is using, the Most Highest I call Him, is using men in the earth today called the lost tribes of Israel. Yashrael, Israel, however you want to say it. And some men say they preach strictly the Torah. That's good. Some men preach the Torah and the New Testament. That's good. But then he put me in a position to know scripture, but also relate it because of the life, the way the things I'm going through in my life. I had to balance the scripture with actual application of law of the land versus color of law. So then I use what the Most Highest says as my base, and then I use what the world, who the world calls their Most Highest, the Vatican and their Pope of Rome, who put out through his private attorney. He put out information through his private attorney to tell the people. He said by necessity he had to do it. It wasn't that something he just did. He says by necessity that he did it. And then through saying that he tells us, not that he's over us like that, because the Most Highest is over us that believe in Him. But I take heed to what He's saying because He runs the operations of the corporations in the world from that aspect. So I take heed to what is being said, and I add it up to what the Most Highest is being said. The Most High said, come out of her, my people. What does that mean? Do that mean come out of this church to go to that one? No, that's not exactly what He's saying. When He means come out of her, come out of the mindset of who you're not. First of all, learn who you're not. Learn who you're not. That's the most important. Know who you're not. And then learn who you are. And add on to that knowledge based on more knowledge of who you are. But at least get the foundation of who you're not. That way you can stand right. So then I put a document together, basically the negative side and the positive side. Basically, through His word, that's the same word He gave you. He said He gave you the creditor side on the right side, and He gave you the debtor side on the left side. But He didn't give you the debtor side. He gave you His word. And based on how you operate according to His word, you're going to either be on the debtor side, the sin side, which is the missing the mark side, the failure side, or you're going to be on the creditor side, which is the right side, the life side, the overcoming side. I was, through ignorance, just like many of us, on the debtor side. Although I was never really on the debtor side, but through ignorance I was on the debtor side. I always been a living sentient man, but through knowledge base I was very ignorant. But I've been taught better. Then I went on Facebook a minute ago, and I saw that a nom de guerre that I, because everybody uses different titles, names, nom de guerres, whatever you want to call it, on Facebook. Some people don't put their de jour appellation on there. And I went on there. Somebody had placed on there that the nom de guerre that was on the Facebook channel that I use, Me the Living Man uses, talking about that name was registered, that nom de guerre was registered to vote. I ain't never registered none that to vote. And also I've since then let the corporation and all of their different functions and heads and executives know that I had basically rescinded all signature from all registrations of that matter. And then some people say, man, that's un-American. They might think that. That's un-American. What do you mean? You don't support the United States? That's why I also posted what the private attorney for the Vatican's Pope say. Because he's letting you know. I'm going to also read to you, I'm going to share another, y'all willing, I'm going to share another book with you that's breaking down the different statuses, the different names of the United States, the different citizenships and different things like that. So what I did, I posted on Facebook stating that no, I never registered. I never, and I basically rescinded my signature from that corporation as far as being a citizen of it. Would you go register and be a citizen of Walmart? There's no disrespect, I'm just saying. But that's what that version of the United States is. It's a corporation. And they basically titled themselves under 28 USC 3002-15, stating that it is a foreign federal corporation. Basically, and its job is really to provide services on this allodial soil to the de jure Americans, in which I am. I'm a de jure Californian, in which I am. All this is by birthright. I'm not a corporation. I'm not a corporate person. I reserve all my rights, exercising all my rights at all times. I'm a true American. I'm a true Californian. At one time, I probably would have said the same thing. Man, you're not going to pledge allegiance? Man, you're not going to. But even through their own acknowledgement and their own, basically, let's quote unquote warning. First they warned their people, their corporate people, their corporations, their owners and all those things to, stop, and you cannot do certain things to the de jure Americans like myself, de jure Californians like myself. That's why I always make it known who I am and who I'm not. I'm not a corporate person. I have the right to utilize the corporation. The corporation within itself is not bad. We all like to go to a game or two. That comes through the corporation. We all like to go to the movies. That's a corporation function. We all like to go to the grocery store, to the wherever. That's a corporation function. But the corporation function is not to make you subjects of it through for lack of a better word, enslavement. And that's the terms they use a lot of times. So that's why I said I don't register to be their corporate person. Now, and it also stated that all corporations, all the functions of the corporation, as far as nom de guerres, property, everything that had been hypothecated away from the de jure Americans, the de jure Californians, have been returned to us without debt, without obligation, without any claim on them. And we have the right to claim what is ours, even if it's in the name of that nom de guerre, but we claim it as ourselves, being who we are. And we cannot be personated, subjugated, hypothecated, subrogated as being a legal fiction, because everything under the color of law must be addressed as a colorable corporate fiction. So anytime, and I'm going to get to it, it was stated that any time that you pledge allegiance, register to vote, register to do all these things, you basically saying that you are a corporate person, which makes you their property. And they've already told you that they released you from being claimed property that was once done under the act of the Sesquique Act of 1666 and the Papal Bull Dum Diversis. And you've been released from all those things, even from them, their point of view. So you're free. Like the Most High said, who the Son is set free is free indeed. So they can't do that. But all they do is try to provide trickery and deceptive schemes that they've already been done. And they basically said they've been doing this for over 150 years. And they've been ordered to stop. So I'm not saying this from a standpoint of, oh man, I'm this big bad tough guy. No, it's not a point. I'm using, he said, the Most High said, our weapon is not carnal, but a mighty through the pulling down of strongholds, through his word. He said, my word is truth. He said, the truth shall make you free. He didn't say set you free, the truth shall make you free. So his words say you're already free. Now the other side said you're free too. So that's why I said I'm not going to be pledging allegiance to a flag. I'm not going to be registering anything, because that's going to send you back to slavery, for lack of a better word. All right, let me get to the. This might be several videos, and I just made that disclaimer from the standpoint of why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why everything I've shown you is from a standpoint of why I'm doing it. I've shown you why I can cash a check that has been determined to be mine through La Sera in my proper capacity, being myself without being subjugated, personated, or hypothecated, because that same notice that it gave to the corporations said that we, the true Americans, have the right to cash those checks, because this is not a something that somebody's given us. It's not a benefit from the standpoint of this charity, somebody just giving you something. No, it's something that we worked for. So let me get to this. It says the negative side, the positive side. And then some people, and it's true that the curses point to who we are over a period of time, but now he's waking us up. He don't want us cursed. Now we can get back to who he said, be yourself. Come back to him. That's what come back to him means. Come back to him means come back to the true creator and not the one that was created by man through the corporations. Because the Most High is not just having something you go on one day, talk about and feel good. No, his word is applicable to lives. He said, I didn't come to destroy man's lives, but to save them. That's applicable to people that's actually walking around every day, living your life, applying to your life. That's what his word is. His word is not something that you go make a sermon out of. Man, that sure was a good word, but then you go back to whatever. Nah, his word is to save lives, literally. So I'm going to read Deuteronomy 28. It says, it shall come to pass if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahweh. And then I found a scripture, but basically it broke his name down as Yahweh. So say how you want it, because he coming back with a new name anyway. So, but for right now, we call him according to what we understand. And it shall come to pass if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahweh, Yehovah, Yehovah, thy Elo, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that Yehovah, thy Elo, will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. He's talking to the Israelites, because that's who his word came to. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of Yahweh, thy Elo. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. See, that's keeping his commandments. Blessed shall thou be, shall be thy fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy basket in thy store. Blessed shall be thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out. And Yahuwah shall cause thine enemies to rise up against thee, to be smitten before thy face. They shall come in against thee one way, and flee before thee 7 ways. And Yahuwah shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses, and all that thou settest thine hand unto. And he shall bless thee in the land which Yahweh, I'm trying to pronounce it how I got it. Yehovah, okay. Yehovah, thy Elo giveth thee, and Yehovah shall establish thee an holy people unto himself, as he has sworn unto thee. See, he's sworn to do it. See, he don't break his promises. And I heard somebody breaking down a message earlier too, where he was saying, we have to go through Yahusha to get back to him. That's the truth. But then another scripture says, has he forgotten his people? He just told you he swore to us. He ain't forgot about us. But it was his purpose to allow us to go away from the standpoint of being blinded, from the standpoint of not having sight to see what's going on. That he may bring the other nations that are righteous, that he has chosen to come in, and then he's going to return it back to us, which he's done now. And then he said, well, why come Ishmael wasn't mentioned? He said, if that's the case, Ishmael was mentioned. He said, Ishmael shall be a great people too. When he sent his, when Abraham had sent Ishmael away, he said he should be a great people too. And many kings should come out of him. But he wasn't the promised kings. So that explains that. Okay, let me get back. Alright. How about the name of Yahuwah, thou shalt be afraid of thee. And all the people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of Yahweh. I'm sorry, Mosiah, I'm getting it right. Yahweh. And they shall be afraid of thee. And Yahweh shall make thee plenteous in goods, and in the fruits of thy body, and the fruit of thy cattle, and the fruit of thy ground, in the land which Yahweh swear unto thy fathers to give thee. See, he swore unto Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to give us this land. So he don't break his promises. He gonna do what he said. It's all in his timing though. And Yahweh shall open unto thee his good treasure, the heaven to give the rain. Let me see, where was I? The heaven to give the rain unto thy land in his season, and to bless all the work of thine hand. And thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow. Okay, so so that term lend, right? And not borrow, right? Don't that sound like creditor, lender versus debtor, borrower? He making it plain. For those who have ears to hear, let them hear. And Yehovah shall make thee the head and not the tail. So he promised this. And thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not but be beneath, if thou wilt hearken unto the commandments of Yahweh, thy Elo, which I command thee this day, and to observe and to do them. And thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day, to the right hand or to the left, to go after other gods to serve them. But this is another promise he made. He just spoke a word, but depending on what happens, your actions, even through ignorance, this is going to cause this, and that's what happened to us a lot of times. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh, thy Elo, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And I almost must add, that's why he sent the Hamashiach, because he knew that we would fall from that standpoint, even through ignorance. So he made a way for us that we can come back. Though the enemy couldn't destroy us. That's why the Hamashiach is very important. And this is what happens, and you know the curses. That everybody say, this is the curses. Curse shalt thou be in the city, and curse shalt thou be in the field. Curse shalt thou be in a basket in that store, on down. So I'm not even going to say the curses, but you know what they are. But I'm focusing on the positive side. But I'm showing you that there's a balance. It says, the balanced way, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in Yahweh with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. Proverbs 16, 11. A just weight and a balance are Yahweh's, Yahiwah. And you pronounce how it comes to you, you know what I mean? Because he's going to have a new name. But most important is that you take on his character, that part of his name. To appear in his likeness and in his image. Take on that part of his name. That's the most important part of his name. All the weights of the bag are his work. So he's doing all this stuff, he's doing it. He calls it all to come together. The balanced weight, Proverbs 11 and 1. A false balance is an abomination to Yahweh. Or Yohiwa. Yeah, say it like that. Yehovah. But a just weight is his delight. Then I said Etymology Dictionary, false, late, Old English, intentionally, untrue, lying, of religion, not of the true faith, not in accord with Christian doctrines. And he said Christian doctrines here, and of course today even that has been corrupted, because Christian doctrines today means exactly what it mentioned above. Not of true faith, not in accord. That's why I don't really say I'm a Christian. I don't say I'm a Christian. Because Christian takes on a connotation that can be described by any. I'd rather be saying, I'm from that rock, not made with hands. From Old French, false, fake, incorrect, mistaken, treacherous, deceitful. Modern French, false. From Latin, falsus, deceptive, feigned, deceitful, pretended. Also deceived, erroneous, mistaken, past particle of failure. Deceive, disappoint, which is of certain origin, see, fail. The Hebrew word described as being chata, which means missing the mark. That means sin, missing the mark. Why is it important for the Israelite to use the law of Elo in the natural law of the land? For to us a child is born, and to us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders. So where is that government going to be that he's going to establish? Because remember in Revelation 14, he said, and lo, I saw 144,000. I saw a lamb, and with him 144,000 standing on Mount Zion. He said, and thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. The kingdom that he's bringing through the truth. He said, and then also in Revelation 27, I believe it was. Is that correct? 21 and through 24 through 20, something like that. He said, I saw a new heaven and a new earth. And then he also said, for within it, there should be nothing in it that shall make it alive. So, people say, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Marriage certificates, all these type of things, all these certificates. That's why they said, that's why their Pope said, by necessity, he had to tell the people what is really going on. So he really saying, I'm not going to be blamed if I didn't tell him. So, through necessity, he said, And then also the Most High said, I'm a jealous Elo, and I will not share my glory with any. So when you go get a marriage certificate, what is that saying? Doesn't it say the state has the right to tell you what to do, tell you what you can? Even 501c3, they say that the church, from that standpoint, people under that, they can dictate what you can and cannot say. Now, who is the Elo of those people and organizations under the dictates of that kind of registration? He said he's not gonna share his glory with others, so for the most part, I ain't gonna. No, I'm not there. And the only time the Spirit comes into those places is when you have people in there that don't know any better who have the Spirit. Then eventually those places are gonna just turn to what they really are, because the people that has the Spirit, he gonna call them out of there and out of everything that is false. The only thing gonna be left there are what they are for consideration. All right, that's part one.